Yeah. Then by tomorrow, we'll go a little bit more advanced, right? All right, let's go. So for today, we'll be doing introduction to Power BI and data preparation. Very basic stuff. We are not going to go into advanced stuff yet. We're going to go very, very basic today, right? So what are our learning objectives for today? Today, we want to understand the role of business intelligence, that's the BI. We want to explore Power BI desktop interface. We want to connect Power BI to data sources and then perform basic data preparation with Power Query. Right. So that's then we also have want to understand business intelligence basics, perform Power BI key features, compare Power BI with Excel, explore reward use cases across industries, and learn how to connect data sources and prepare data. Right. So let's start with the definitions. It's very important that you understand these things because if you don't understand the purpose of a thing, abuse is inevitable, right? What is business intelligence? Business intelligence, or BI, simply turns raw data into actionable insights. So say, for instance, you have data on immigration, data on health, data on finance. What business intelligence does is that it converts those raw data into actionable insights, right? So why is it important? It helps in supporting decision-making, efficiency, and competitiveness, right? We're going to look at real-world examples just to give you this foundation. So examples are sales performance tracking, say for instance, you own a company, you want to see how you are performing in your company. You do that, tracking by tracking your sales performance. You also have the HR, employee retention insight. So for instance, you want to know the high performing employees in your organization, who to retain and who not to retain, who to promote, in that sense. And also we can look at customer behavior analysis. Say, for instance, some customers prefer to buy rice instead of beans, so you can look at those things and look, for instance, the demography, look at, okay, which area do people buy my products the most, right? Things like that. We're going to explore that today. So the big question for today is, what exactly is Power BI? I know most of all heard about Power BI. Power BI is this, Power BI is that. I've heard so many things about Power BI, but now let us define Power BI. What exactly is Power BI? Power BI is a Microsoft Business Analytics tool that enables users to connect, transform, visualize, and share insights from their data. That's basically what Power BI does, the definition of Power BI is a business intelligence tool that enables us to connect, transform, visualize, and share insights from data. What are the core functions of Power BI? We use to connect to different data sources, as we are going to see. Use to transform data by cleaning and shaping it. Use to model data and analyze, and then you can also create interactive dashboards and reports. Okay, let's compare. Why do we need to use Power BI? I don't know, for some of us, yeah, but I noticed that Excel and Power BI are very similar. Matter of fact, I would like to say that Excel and Power BI, I'm sure Power BI was built on top of Excel. So we want to know, why not just use Excel for analysis? Why go as far as Power BI? What's the point, really? Right? I know some of us must have had that question in our minds. Why advance into Power BI? Why not just stick with Excel? Since Excel can do, data analysis, right? Let's examine it. First of all, primary use. Excel is used mainly for data entry, for analysis, and for formulas. While in contrast, Power BI is used for data visualization, modeling, and reporting. The strength of Power BI comes to the visualization, as we're going to explore in a few minutes' time. We can model our data and we can report. That's one of the huge advantage of Power BI over Excel. In terms of data size, Excel can handle thousands to millions of rows, right? It tries, right? But it's slower with larger data. Let's say you have like 10 million data, Excel will start hanging. Compared to Power BI, that can handle millions of rows of data. So this second point here is one of the limitations of Excel, and that was one of the reasons why Power BI was built, right? The third point is visualization. In Excel, you can do charts and pivot tables, those basic stuff and all of that. While in Power BI, you can do advanced interactive dashboards, as we're going to see today, right? In terms of collaboration, you can use Excel for file-based sharing. I know some of us are already used to this already, like email, SharePoint, OneDrive. That's what Excel can do for you. On the other hand, Power BI gives you access to cloud-based sharing. You can go, to Power BI service. You can share your dashboard, your reports with other users, for instance, people in your organization, and they can all have access to it. They can interact with your dashboard, your reports, and all of that. It's very fun to do, really. And then there's automation. This is the final point. In Excel, you are limited to just VBA and macros. For those of us that know how to use VBA and macros, that is the best you can do when it comes to automation in Excel. Whereas in Power BI, you can automate, refresh, schedule, updates, whatnot. There are a lot of things you can do with Power BI compared to Excel. So for those of us that are stuck in Excel, this is the right time to move. I hope this is enough reasons for you to move. All right, so before we continue, I'd like us to please scan this code and fill the short survey. So this survey basically want to know about you, your demography, and all of that. The reason why we need this data is because we want to perform analysis live from your own data, right? The reason why we're doing this is because most times people ask me this question that, okay, what are the sources of our data? Where do we get this data from? I saw, imported data from you're going to go and bring data from your house, funny questions like that. So today, one of our practice is that we are going to use our own data, right? We're going to collect data by ourselves, and we're going to use it on this call, right? Are we cool? Is that okay by us?
Yeah, I think it should be okay. They are not able to speak because I muted them.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
It's
okay,
okay. Yeah.
okay.
So
Oh, all
I'll
right.
speak on their behalf.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'll give you like, say, 5 minutes. Please scan the QR code okay, let me see if I can paste this on the chat here. This should be just a minute, please. I want us to have our own data. So while I'm presenting, you can be filling it so that by the time I'm done, you can start analysis. It's a very short form, just about how many questions? I think 7 questions. That's it. Right. So please start filling the form now. You have 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So while you're filling the form, I'll continue presentation. So what sectors is this application used, Power BI? What sectors do we use Power BI? We have finance, we have retail, e-commerce. There are a lot of them, but just sort to, list some of the most important ones. So we use Power BI in budgeting, risk analysis, and fraud detection in the finance industry. We use Power BI for sales dashboards, for customer behavior tracking in retail and e-commerce settings. We use patient outcomes. We use it for patient outcomes, hospital resource utilization for healthcare industry. We use it for student performance analytics, operational efficiency in education sector. For manufacturing, we use supply chain monitoring, quality control, while for government, used for policy impact analysis, citizen services monitoring, and for technology and startups, use it for products usage insights and KPI tracking. So obviously there are a lot more industries where Power BI is used, but I don't just want to highlight a few of them so that I can have an idea of how Power BI is used in several industries. Now, let's discuss the Power BI ecosystem. The one that is most commonly used is the Power BI desktop, right? So that's what we're going to use today. It's free, available for everyone to download online. Just go to download or install, and then you have Power BI desktop on your machine. Power BI service on the other hand is not entirely free. You must have an organizational email for you to be able to log in, right? And so that you can share and collaborate with people in your organization. Power BI Mobile, on the other hand, is used on the go. Is a paid subscription. So if you have Power BI Mobile, that means that you can access reports on your phone. Then there's Data Gateway to connect on-premises data. Right. So I want to believe we are done with the form. Before I go on to the next slide, please type in the chat if you are done. Okay, Aziz, thank you very much. Yeah, Maureen, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Reese. Thank you. Thank you. Please keep submitting. We need a large data for visualization to make sense, right? So I'll just give you like 2 more minutes. Let me monitor the submissions. Right, let's see who has submitted. Oh, impressive. We have 58 responses so far. Please keep submitting so we can analyze the data together. Okay, 60. Keep submitting. Thank you. Let's have access to our data here. So we're going to use our own data today to practice. Of course, there's another data that I prepared down for this analysis for today's class, but I thought we should start with this one first. Okay, still loading. Okay, impressive, impressive, impressive. Very good, very good, very good. Let's have like 5 more and then that's it.
I think we can still wait a few minutes more. I think some persons, let's
Oh,
see if,
just joined? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it keeps, the number keeps climbing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Let me
thank
let me
you.
drop the form again. All right, sir. Okay. So in case you just joined, yeah, that's the link to the form. Please quickly fill it so that I can use the data to do our analysis today. Hmm. We have an interesting demography. Okay. 75 responses so far. Cool.
Victor, someone is asking if, since they are filling the forms in the class, they will most likely not have missing data if Power BI can handle missing data.
Yeah, that's true. So my intention was I wanted to have a complete data. I have another set of data that will come in with null, right? So I envisioned this already. I envisioned this already. So yeah, thank you for that question. Thank you for that question. I initially removed it, then I added it back. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's very thoughtful of you, Maureen. So we're going to see how to handle null as well, in our data sets, among other things. So Dr. Phillips, please let me know when to continue so that I can save the data.
Maybe let's give like 4 more minutes.
Okay, sir. All right.
Yes, because I
So continue by
know
6:30.
yeah, because I know when it comes to data, the more the merrier.
Exactly. Yes, yes.
So let's see
Mm.
if we can. So 4 minutes. Let me post the link again. Let me just do that quickly. So if you're just joining, please we recommend that you fill this form. We we're generating a data that will be used for the data analytics right here. So you have 3 more minutes to fill that form. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Before we wrap up, someone asked again, Victor, is it possible to create city or country column from the populated date in BI?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. We have another column for matter of fact, the reason why I did that, you notice the title is resident city slash country, because I want to split this table, right? So that we have this column rather, so that I have city to as one column and then country as one column. So it's sad that people just filled only some people filled only country, some people filled only city. But let's see. We'll play around with it.
All right, thank you. I think their time is up. You can proceed. How much do we have? 100. Whoa, very good.
Yeah,
All right.
impressive, really.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
need to stop data collection now so that we don't have extra data again after the analysis. Hmm. So I'll go to, okay, let me just download it. Yeah, so we can have access to it. Create a copy, download. Right, so I'll save the data in my ACU project. Okay, I didn't copy it. Let me copy it now. Okay, now we have it. Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. Thank you very much, everyone. To everyone that participated, I really appreciate you. You just gave us free data. Thank you. Right, so where did we stop? Right, okay. I think we stopped here. Yeah, let's continue. Then we'll go into Power BI to do the demo. Okay, so an overview of Power BI desktop. Okay, so we're going to do a demo, a quick demo, where I'll give you a tour of the interface of Power BI, right? So again, I have to emphasize that this is a beginner's class. So for the expert among us, please pardon us. Today is for the absolute beginners. So we're going to go, into tiny details, right? Like how to load a file and all of that, so that people that are not used to Power BI can have a hang of it, right? So let's continue. So up next, we're going to talk about how to connect data sources in Power BI, how to connect data sources. So like R, for those of us that attended the R class, you saw that you can load in your CSV data, you can load in your Excel data, and all of that into R. But usually what you need to do is that you need to install packages like, I think, Excel. Dr. Felix, please remind me, what's that package for installing Excel?
Is read Excel.
Yeah, read Excel. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So unlike R that requires packages to read Excel, you don't need such things in Power BI, right? If you have your CSV, your Excel, even your database, right? You just click on it and that's it. It's just one click and then you have it. You should understand, right? That's how simple it is in Power BI compared to R, right? So let us quickly do a comparison. We're going to go to our Power BI very soon, but I want us to quickly get this down. Say, for instance, you come across this import mode versus direct query mode in Power BI. This is a question that you likely come across sooner or later in your journey in Power BI, right? So do you import data directly into Power BI or do you use direct query mode, right? So the advantages and disadvantages of using both, but I'll tell you just ahead of time, always use import mode because the direct query mode will give you a lot of problems in the future. As at the time of speaking to you right now, it is advisable to use import mode and not direct query mode. I will do a quick demo on that very soon. All right. So let me just run you through what each of them means. For import mode, data is copied from the source into Power BI desktop, while for direct query mode, data remains in the source. So for instance, say you have SQL Server or Access database, you just put the data directly. That means the data never leaves your source. It always remains in your source. It's faster. That's the best way to. That's Dr. Phillips, please can you help me with someone is joined on the screen.
Yeah, I'll take it out.
Okay, thank you, sir. Right. So for just a minute, please. All right. So for direct query mode, you can just use the data directly from your source instead of having a copy of the data in Power BI. It is for imports mode, it is best for fast performance with small or medium data sets. While if you have large data sets, usually more than 1 GB, it is best to use direct query mode. Let me not bore you until we get there. I'll show you demo. So for Power Query basics, we're going to touch on the basis of Power Query. We're going to go to the transform, we're going to go to add column, we're going to view tools and all of that. And we're going to perform some basic tasks like removing nulls, renaming columns, changing data types, then merge versus append queries. Okay? So the aim of Power Query is basically to clean data, to shape it and transform data before you take it into Power BI to start your analysis, visualizations and all of that. That is the function of Power Query. Right, so now we're going to go into demo. We're going to see what we can do with Power BI, starting with the dashboard. We'll do some KPIs, highlight storytelling, and then there'll be a short exercise for us. Right, let's go. So to open Power BI, just search on your laptop, search for Power BI. I don't know if some of you that saw the video. There's a video I did on how to install Power BI so that we don't waste time, in the class today,
Okay.
right?
Victor, just a second. Could you please stop sharing for a second?
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Okay, share again. I was having challenge cleaning it up. Okay, you can share again.
Oh,
Right, that's gone off.
okay. All
Thank you.
right. Thank you. Yeah. Right. So if you are a first-time user of Power BI, you'd likely get a prompt, one big box to come here, usually orange in color, asking you if you want to get data and all of that. It's because it used to annoy me. That's why I removed it, right? So that's why you see that I don't have this on my own screen here. So I'll just go to blank reports. The reason I'm going here is because I want to show you the interface of Power BI. Right, let's go. So this here is the interface of Power BI. This is what Power BI looks like, right? When you first open it. This right here, this entire space here is called your dashboard. This is where you do your charts, your graphs, your tables, filters, all of them. Everything happens here in this space here, right? So let's go. In your home tab, you have these are the normal controls you have in all your Microsoft tools, your paste, cut, copy, and the formatting to paint pockets. Then this get data, it is where we get our data, connect to data sources, right? Like Power, Excel, data flow, and all of that. We're going to get into that in a minute. So these are the common data types we have, right? This here is going to give us more. Right, we're going to come to that. I want to just show you the interface first before we come to that, right? So after that, we have SQL Server, and then there's enter data. So you can manually enter data in Power BI. Say, for instance, you don't want to have what's it called? You don't want to import data. You can just manually enter your data. You can just say, for instance, name, and for instance, age, right? You can now say name is Victor, age is 21, and so on and so forth. I hope you understand because of our time so that we don't waste time on this, right? Then you can go to recent sources, right? That is where you imported data from, just to have if, in case you want to use it again, right? So you can transform data. Then these are visualization tools, the same things that are here basically. They are called build. You can insert visualization that you have used before. You can insert a text box. So you can just type, for instance, double click to type. This is the demo, right? And then, yeah, and then just drag this up. You can increase the size. Oh, sorry. You have to, this is a demo. I highlight it first. You have to highlight the text first. If you don't highlight the text, it will not, it will not work, right? So you can now come here and increase the size like this. And then if it's getting too big, you just drag this one down like this and then increase again as you so desire, right? So that's how you add the text to Power BI. So if you click down here, you see more visuals. You can go to App Source. I don't want to leave this interface. It will take you to where you can download more visuals for your visualization, for your analysis. Then for my files, in case you have them in your files. You notice that these ones are graded out. Right. Power BI has what we call contextual tabs. So for instance, if I'm working with a data here, if I have a data here in my dashboard here, these tools here will come up to be active. But since there's no data, for instance, there's no dashboard here, how do I want to publish? What do I want to publish? You understand? That is why this one is graded out. If there's something to publish, definitely, this one will be active, right? Prepare data, there's no data here, and all of that. So that's basically the home tab. Let's move to the insert tab. In the insert tab, we have new visual, new page. So you can add a new page here, blank page. Can you see? Now we have page 2, right? You can even duplicate a page. So duplicate of page 2. So instead of going right here, why not just click on plus here, right? Why not just right click? Just a minute, please. And then duplicate. You understand? So they're basically doing the same thing. Just one is faster. Right? So we're going to touch all of this very soon, paginated report and all of that, text boxing and all. So I just want to rush so that we can quickly do some visualizations, right? Then we have modeling. You can see most of them are grayed out already. Again, we don't have data imported into our dashboard, so there's nothing to do with this in modeling. Modeling basically builds relationship between your tables, right? If you have a table and then there are relationships, say for instance, you have customers, you have customer ID, you have sales ID, and all of that. So this automatically picks them for you. Then we have view, right? You can have mobile layouts, page layouts. Don't worry, we are going to get into that. I just want to touch everything to make sure that everything is covered before we go into importing data and all of that, right? Then we have optimize. That's basically for DAX, and then help. Don't worry, I'm the help for today. Okay, now that we have done that, let's look at the next one. To our right, we'll see format, we see build, and then there's something at this right-hand side there. I'm sure most of you don't have this one yet, and I'll tell you why. The reason is because it's a setting that I turned on that enabled me to have access to all this. Let me show you quickly before I move on. So if you go to File and you scroll down to Options and Settings, you see options here, right? Click on it. Right. Alternatively, let me show you the faster way to get there because you have to be coming to this place very often. Can you see this thing by my right, the bottom right, right? Just click on it, settings, takes you to the exact same place, right? So that one is faster. I advise you use that one instead. Okay. When you come here, there are some things you need to change that are very, very important for you to have a very seamless flow in Power BI, which is preview features. You notice that all my preview features are checked. Why did I do that? The reason is because Power BI usually ships updates every now and then. I think every week or so, or every 2 weeks, right? Dr. Phillips, please, the screen. Someone is right on the screen. Thank you. Right. So what you want to do is that every time you open your Power BI, come here and make sure that you select everything. There are some new things you don't have access to, except you select them, like you have to check them by yourself, right? The reason why I have this here, this extra tab here, is because I've selected all the features that Power BI has shipped, in recent time. I hope that's clear. All right. So another thing you want to do is regional settings. So for instance, you know that in the United States, they don't start their dates with day, month, and year, right? DMY, like we do in most English-speaking country. The United States starts with month, day, and year. So you have to be very careful when you are selecting this because if you have a data, for instance, that is UK, right? If you have a data that is UK, that means that you have to use DMY. I hope you understand. Okay, I want to assume you do. So there's English UK and there's English United States. So I always use United States because it's the format I'm used to already, right? Okay, so now that we've done that, I think there's one more. Okay, that's it for now. Let's continue. Having done that, let's see. We have the format tab, the build tab, and then this extra tab I'm going to touch in a while. Now, the format is basically for formatting things on your dashboard, right? For formatting things on your, Dr. Felix, yes, please.
Yeah, please, you would on share again and share. I'm trying to figure out how to stop persons from sketching on the
Oh,
screen.
okay.
So
Let me see if I
because
can.
you,
Oh, I
yeah,
can, I
because
can. I,
okay,
yes,
okay,
thank you very much.
all right,
Yes,
thank.
okay, sir. Okay, so we apologize for that. Let's proceed. So if we have this now, I mean, let's talk about the format tab and all of that. There's canvas settings. See, this page here, all we're seeing here is 16:9, or we can change it. Can you see now it's smaller? Can go to letter. Letter is even way smaller. So we're going back to 16 because this is like the default that everybody uses, okay? Then for the build, this is basically where all our charts and visualization tools are stored, right? For instance, you have here your bar charts. If you click here, notice that it changes to this other one here, this vertical chart here, stacked column chart. So what you want to do is that when you want to change something in, let's say you want to create a new visualization in Power BI, you have to click outside. Very important. If you've selected something like this and you click, say, a pie chart, automatically it changes to a pie chart. I see many beginners make this mistake. So if you want to change this, you click outside, then go and pick another one, right? I hope that's clear. Okay, let's go. Let me delete this. Okay, so these pie charts, scatter chart, and all of that. These are the visualization tools that we use in Power BI. You can also see there's R. You can write your scripts here directly, or you can import your scripts from R into Power BI. There's also Python, a lot of things here, really. So because of our time, let's quickly move on to import our data. So remember I said that if you want to import data, you can click here, for instance. Well, let's click on more. Let's click on more. So if we scroll down here, you start there are many data sources we can connect to, many data sources, right? But from experience and for the purpose of this class, we usually just do text, CSV, Excel, JSON, and all of that. So if you look at this now, it has been categorized. These are all the data sources we can connect to, right? But look at this, it's now categorized. We have files that's talking about text-based data like CSV, Excel workbook, JSON. We have database formats, right? We have a SQL database, Access database. We have Microsoft Fabric, platform, Azure, online services, and all of that. So like I said earlier, we're going to use Excel and CSV for this class. So let me just click on Excel and then click on Connect. So it's going to take me to our data. That's the training survey. And it's going to load. Okay. Now we have data to work with. Let's preview. So we can see our data is here already. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Good. Good. Right. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure that you scroll to the entire, like to the right, to make sure that all your data is accurate in terms of the number of columns. Very important. So sometimes you will notice that the data is even more. See, the data in the preview has been truncated due to size limits. That means that there's still more data, underneath this. I think we had 100 respondents. So we are going to have more than just 41. Because of preview, that's why it's giving us just 40, access to just 40. Right. So now you might be tempted to click on, let's say I've selected this now. You have to select it first. You might be tempted to click on load, right? So you can just start doing your analysis, your visuals, and all of that. But don't yield into that temptation. Don't give into that temptation. What you want to do is to click on transform data. And why is that? You want to make sure that your data is cleaned, first of all. You notice that there are some errors here in your data. We're going to, explore them, right? We want to make sure that your data is clean, first of all, before taking it back to Power BI for analysis. Right, let's go. Let us transform our data. What we have here is called Power Query Editor. Power Query. So Power Query is basically where we go to clean our data, basically, before we take them to Power BI for analysis. Right. So what we want to do first of all is to change this. This is the name of our table, Office Forms table. We can change it. Let's see, class activity. Now, why are we changing the name of this table? We're going to be referencing this table a lot when we are working with our visualization. So for the purpose of, easy reference and all of that, it's best to give it a name that you can easily relate with, not, form, table form, and all of that. You understand? Right. So if you notice here to our right here, Power BI has done something for us, right? Let's click on this. Can you see what happened? It is showing us the source where this data came from. Can you see? That's the first step. You can see it's called applied steps. It's using what we call M code. It's showing us where the data came from. The next thing is navigation. And then change type. So notice that some of the data that we had, right? Let's go back, see. Some of the data that we had, the type were not correct. For instance, look at this. Check this very well. Residence, city / country. Look at when it's in navigation. Can you see? It is showing both alphabets and numbers. But Power BI is smart enough to know that residence and city is supposed to be only text. Do you understand? So it has given us only text. It is that smart. But we are not going to stop there. We are also going to check it by ourselves to make sure that it's correct. How do we do that? We go to email, right? Okay, there's nothing on email, nothing on name. Let's start with the full name, right? This is the correct one. It's giving us text, right? Because names are ideally supposed to be text. You understand? Gender is supposed to be text. Years of experience is not correct. Can you see? It's giving us as alphabet. Why is it giving us as alphabet? Because some people typed in what's it called? Text instead of just numbers. That would ideally, if I wanted to make it generic, I would have just given you options for only what's it called, for only numbers. But I deliberately put in a blank slate so that people can type. Because when you're working with data, you have to be aware of the fact that some people can type in text in place of numbers. As a data analyst, it's your duty to make sure that the right data type is assigned. Okay, let's go and fix that. We'll use O number, replace current. Can you see? That means we now have an error. People that used people that use text instead of numbers. Can you see people that did that? Can you see? How do we correct that? Let's see. Let's right click. It's gone. Okay. What that means is that if you scroll down, we no longer have 100. Some of our respondents have been taken out. But let's see, can we undo? It's not undoing. Why? You see, in Power BI, the Control Z function, let me see if I can bring out my, yeah, on-screen keyboard. If you do this, Control Z, it doesn't work. When you are in Power Query, it doesn't work, right? What Power BI understands is these applied steps. So for instance, you don't want that step you just applied. That one I just did now, and I removed some of the responses. You can just come here, remove errors and cancel. Can you see? It's back. That is how you undo. You don't undo with Control Z. It doesn't work in Power BI. I noticed a lot of beginners make that mistake. That's why I deliberately wanted to show you. Okay. So, okay, for the purpose of this, so that it's easier for analysis, we'll come back to this. Let's just remove the errors. We'll replace it later. Okay. Right. So, residence/city. Let us split this column by delimiter. Okay. Let us see. We have one that is a tab. Let's see. We have slash. Okay. Let us see. Split column by delimiter. Okay, let me quickly explain this before we continue. So basically what I want to do now is that you can see here that what I asked for was residence city/country, right? I wanted to know your city first, for instance, Lagos, and your country, Nigeria, Accra, Ghana. You understand? Like Pretoria, South Africa. But most of our respondents, or some of our respondents only give like country or only city, right? So how do we separate them? We want to make sure that in case we're analyzing for just cities, we have a column that speaks to just cities. In case we're analyzing for just countries, we have a column that speaks to just countries. I hope that's clear. Okay, let's see. So I'll just right click and I'll go to split column by delimiter. Delimiter simply means that there's for instance, a comma, there's a space, there is a slash, whatever it is that you can use to separate those values, right? So I'll click on delimiter. You can also use number of characters. Say, for instance, you want to count Lagos is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after 5, everything that comes after 5 is gone. I hope that's clear, right? But if you notice in this case, it's not going to be very efficient because some some cities or some countries have more than 5 first words. You understand? So let's go again to split column. You see by position, but let's try this one first, delimiter. And it is always the best use by delimiter. Let's see. So we can use tab, we can use colon, we can use comma, semicolon, space, and tab. Let's try space. Okay, let's see. Can you see now? If you notice here, we have resident city country 1 and resident city country 2. So it's basically just splitting it into 2, right? So after space. So in this case, now notice that Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, right? There is no space between Lagos and Nigeria. That's why it's returning null. I hope you are following. And after Accra and Ghana, Dr. Felix, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I am noting the questions for the end, but there's this one that is a bit different. This one you had done instead of deleting those that wrote numbers, words instead of numeric. So someone is asking if you can change the words to numeric.
Yes, 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 we can, we can, we can. I'm going to go back there again. Yes, we can. Yes, there's a way to do that. We can. I'll get back there. It's because of time. I'm just trying to run so that we can do other analysis. I'll get back there. I'll replay that part. All right. Thank you very much. I'll attend to your questions as well. Thank you very much. So for instance, I was saying, you see that Lagos, Nigeria, there's no space between Lagos and Nigeria. That's why you're turning null. The space is after Nigeria, right? In this case now, there's South Africa, South and Africa. That is why we have this, what's it called now? This column splits between South and Africa. Nigeria, obviously, there's nothing here again. Do you understand? So by the time you look through all this, you notice that there's a consistent pattern. Yola has been selected, Adamawa has been shifted to the other side. See, in this case now, we even have 4. Yola, Adamawa, State, Nigeria. Why? Because this person that wrote this was always putting space after Yola, space after Adamawa, space after State, space after Nigeria, right? So let's see. Let's keep working on this. Let's try this again. I deliberately put this data here so that we can, okay, let me even, Dr. Felix, let's even work on that, right? Let's see these remove errors. Okay, let's go back there. So we can quickly correct that. So for the person that asked the question, let's see, remove errors. Yes. So it's what's it called? It's permanent. Whatever you do in Power Query is permanent. For instance, say you delete something or you want to go back to a step, it's a permanent stuff, right? So please take note of that. It's very important. Aha. I want to believe this is the one. What's that data we're talking about that has errors? Aha, this one here, right? Okay, let's remove this one again. Yes, let's remove it. Just a minute, please. Okay, so after doing this, we go to, it's very important. Yes, this one here, years of experience. So instead of writing 0, right, you can just right click and come here, replace values or replace errors. So let's see replace errors now. We can just type in 0 and press OK. Can you see? So instead of showing us error, it's now showing us 0. Do you understand? Do you understand? So ideally, in an ideal situation, right, you don't give access to people to type number of years of work experience. You give them prompts for only numbers. I deliberately put in that so that you can see an example of how to correct such things whenever they pop up. I hope that's clear. Okay, we'll get back to that. Okay, so let's continue with our residence and country. Let's continue splitting. Okay, split column by delimiter. Okay, so we use space. Let's continue. So this is saying that each occurrence of the delimiter, that means that anywhere you see space, that's why, for instance, you see Yola, Adamawa, Nigeria, and all of that. But if we use leftmost delimiter, it means that after the first space, it is going to stop. Let's try it. Can you see? South Africa, full stop. So that person that did Yola, can you see? Yola, after Yola, every other thing remains. Every other thing remains. I hope you are following. So this one wrote one China, right? That means that the formatting, this thing didn't work for it because what we did was for the delimiter didn't work for it because what we did was space and not hyphen. Do you understand? Let's try another one again. Let's try hyphen. Delimiter. Okay, custom. Okay, let's try this one. Let's try the slash. each occurrence. Can you see now? Lagos, Nigeria. Can you see? Lagos, Nigeria. Very important. Accra, Ghana. South Africa. South Africa removed now. So we're going to have to merge this together. Right. So let's continue. Aba, Nigeria. Okay, good. Right. All right. Okay. Let's try one more. Let's try okay, let's remove commas. I hope you are following. I want to show you something. Look at this, for instance. This is showing Uganda and then there's a comma. We don't want this comma because we want Uganda to stand alone. I hope that's clear. So we want to remove all the commas across board, right? How do we do that? You right click, you come to replace values, just put in comma and leave it with a blank. Replace with blank. Blank simply means that just take out all the instances of comma. I hope that's clear. Okay, so you can see now that there's no more comma after Uganda, right? Okay, let's continue. Let's do one more. Let's do for one China. We'll come here, replace values. It's an hyphen, remove the hyphen, and replace it with a space, just a space. Why is that? Let me show you. If we don't put the space, let me remove the space first of all. Can you see? One China. Can you see? So let me remove that. And let's do it with space. Hyphen, and then just space bar one time. Hit it one time. One time. That's it. Can you see? One China. Okay? I hope we are following. Okay, let me continue. Let me assume you are following. Right. We'll still do some analysis together. Right. Time is running. Okay, let's see. Okay, what else can we do? We're going to merge this column together, but let's see what else we can do. These other ones are correct. So in this case now, right, what we need here are the first two numbers, right? So again, I deliberately allowed people to type in data because it is going to give us a situation like this. And you're going to, encounter something like this in real life, right? Where people type more than what is required, right? What you need as a data analyst is for a single data to be in every column. You need only 8, you need only 15, you need only 30, you need only 40. You don't need this one that is text. Do you understand? How do we do that? Let's try. Let's see. Let's go to replace values. No, not replace values. Go to, okay, let's split. Yes. Number of characters. This is where this one comes in handy. Number of characters. So we can use 2. Can you see? Now, every other thing that is more than, let's say, 10, 28, it has been taken out. It has been taken out. We now have them here. Do you understand? It has been taken out. Let me take it out back. Let me show you again. So in this case now, right, what we want to do is right click, go to replace split column. The reason why we're splitting columns because we want to maintain a column that has just single values, right? So we split column instead of using delimiter because there's no delimiter here. If you check, there's no delimiter here. What we have is two numbers and all of that, right? What we want to do instead is, oh, okay, there are more of them. Hold on. This is it now. This is one we need. Yes, this one here. So just click on this. Make sure you click on this one here, the one that has the header, right? Not the body, the header. Very important. Right. Right click, go to split column, go to number of characters. Why are we using number of characters? Because we've noticed that across our data, what we need is either the first or the second, the first two numbers. The other ones are irrelevant to us. Do you understand? So we click again, right click, come to split column, number of characters, we put 2. Now, what we want to select is this ones as far left as possible. That means that once you select this, the remaining ones will remain in one column. If you select this, let's say it takes the first two, it takes 40, it takes 50, every other one remain in one column, just one column. Let's see it. Can you see? Can you see it now? So it takes the first two and then remove every other thing. Okay. Now let's keep cleaning. So as a Power BI developer, you will spend 90% of your time in this place, in Power Query, cleaning data, doing data modeling. When it comes to visualization and all of that, those are the easiest parts. It takes a very few minutes, maybe 30 minutes or so, thereabouts, you are done. But when the real work is in data cleaning. You spend a lot of your time here. You can notice that we've spent almost close to 15 or 20 minutes now, just here alone, right? That is what you'll be doing most times as a data Power BI developer. All right, let's see. Let's see what we can remove. I've seen something I can remove. I saw at replace with blank, or let's say 0. Yeah, so we don't have nulls. Can you see? That has been replaced. What else do we see that we can replace? I think I saw less than. There's an hyphen. Can come here, replace values, hyphen with nothing, right? You just want to remove the hyphen. So whenever you type something here, replace with, it means that you want to replace it with something. But if you leave it blank, it means you want it gone, right? I hope that's clear. So we click on OK. Okay, that's gone as well. Hyphen is gone as well. Okay, so there's no, there's 4H and all of that. So let's see. Let's remove as many as we can. Remove. There's H, replace with nothing. Then there is, I saw one more, RA, replace values, RA, replace with nothing, or 0. Okay, this one is going to be 0 because we want it to be, want to have a number. Okay, so like I said earlier, in an ideal situation, I wouldn't allow you to type in these numbers by yourself, where I would have given you options to choose 8, 10, and all of that, right? But for the purpose of this class, I deliberately put in an empty, what's it called? Empty box for you to type so that I can see how to clean this data for just for demonstration purposes. In real life, you never ever have to deal with this because when you are giving out data to people to fill, when you are giving out people form for people to fill, you always want to make sure that this categorical data, you have to select numbers. I hope you understand. So this last column here is now useless to us. We don't need it anymore. You can just click on remove column and that's it, it's gone. Okay, right. So let's deal with one or two more things and then we'll, we'll, we'll move into visualization. So let's remove nulls. We'll replace values, nulls, null with nothing. Okay, we'll understand why I'm doing that in just a minute. Just give me a minute, I'll explain. Just a minute. Scroll. Then X. Okay. Right click, replace values, null with nothing. Okay. All right, let's see. This merge. Oh, no, not that. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. Okay, let's split this. Now we have full name, right? You can see Victor space Umoren, right? Dr. Vincent Mensa, right? So what we want to do is that I want to make sure that the names are split between first name and last name, right? Let's try that. So again, you come to split column by delimiter. Why delimiter? Because there's a common feature among, across board, which is space, right? Let's try it again. So come here, split column by delimiter. All we need is space. Can you see that Power BI is smart enough to notice that all we need is space, and we need it just one time, right? Let's see. Victor Umoren, and this and this and this and this and this. Right. So we don't spend the whole time here. We'll come back here, obviously. And I know there are a lot of questions for Power Query. I know there are always many questions for Power Query. Okay. So let's continue. So can I call this first name and then the second one last name? Okay. Gender is good to go. Then years of work of experience is good. We've done some cleaning. Residence city is good. Then how familiar are you with Power BI? This is categorical data. Who is Azoli Osborne? Please go ahead. Oh, you are muted. Sorry.
Yeah, I think if they can note their questions because of our time, we'll take
Okay.
all the
Okay.
questions together. Yeah.
All
Thank you.
right. All right. All right then. All right. Okay. That's noted. Then there's gender. There's years of experience. So for the purpose of time, I'll just okay. Let's call this city. Right. Let's call this country. I know some people are screaming, like, why are you doing that? Don't worry, just hold on, please. Okay, okay. So let's not dwell here too much. Let's start analyzing something. And then when we see the errors, we'll come back. We can always come back here. Okay, so don't panic. So when you are done with this, obviously we're not done with this. When you are done with this, Dr. Felix,
There's a variable you wrote Nigeria. I just wanted to know if that's what you want to write there. Nigeria instead of country.
oh, so please, where is it? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. I meant to write country. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Right. So say you are done now, right, with the whole analysis, right? You've done your data cleaning. Obviously, we're not done. I'm just looking at time so that we don't spend the whole time here. We'll come back here. I assure you, we'll come back here. Right. So what you want to do is click on this, close and apply. Close and apply. So this is why I want to take you out of this place immediately is because I want to show you some things in Power BI dashboard. We'll go back there. Don't worry, I give you my word. We're going back there to the query editor. So now you might be wondering, so where's my data? All the things I've done, where are they now? Right. So if you look at your top right, you see that you have something called data. If you click on this drop down here, you can see city, completion time, all the data that we have, right? Everything is there now. Okay. So if I click on country, for instance, let me remove this. Can you see? The reason why it's showing us Ghana, India, and Nigeria is because most of the respondents selected this. But let's see if I change this, don't summarize, count distinct. Okay, not distinct, count all. Can you see? There are 105 countries, right? 105 countries. Okay, let me minimize this. So let me quickly correct this. Instead of writing, if you're presenting to somebody, right, they shouldn't be showing count of something. How do you correct that? Under format, you go to visual, right? For the title is off. Yeah, title is on. Okay. For the title now, you go to, let's say our title is on. You can now call this countries. Okay. And then if you scroll down, we can increase this to, let's say 16. Can see countries, and then you can now put it at the middle. Okay. Text wrap, subtitle of, yeah, spacing. Okay. Right. Let's continue. Okay. So the spacing between, can you see? That's the spacing. This is basically the spacing between this text here and the subtext and the label, right? You can increase it. Okay. So let's try something else. Okay. Let's say you want to check people that are familiar. Notice that I clicked outside. I didn't click here, like I clicked outside, right? Very important. People that are familiar with Power BI. This is showing us a count of everybody, but that's not what we want. We want a distinct count. Why are we doing distinct count? So we can see people that are within grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, up to grade 5. So we come here, instead of summarizing everything, we want to do distinct count. So there are 4 distinct categories, right? Okay, let's even do a chart, right? Let's do people that are familiar with, just a minute. Familiar are you? By your first name, x-axis. So you can see now, this is for everybody. So you can see that most of our respondents are on 1. Let me take it. I think some people are on 4 or just 2. People are between 1 and 2. Okay, interesting. Okay. So you can see that just by visualizing this, you can see that most of the people that feel this, their expertise in Power BI is between 1 and 2. So like I said, it's because of our time that I rushed down here, so that I don't waste the whole time doing Power Query, what we're supposed to be doing Power BI, right? Don't worry, I'm going to go back to Power BI and Power Query just a minute, right? Very important. So in case we don't have enough time to cover other things, so that's why I quickly rushed down here. Okay, now when you see this, instead of showing us count of how many per familiar, this doesn't sound nice, right? What you do instead that you come here, come to title, right? Can now rename this as familiarity with Power BI, right? And then you can now come here, centralize the text, make it bold, increase the size. And then after increasing the size, you can now close this tab. So for the x-axis, it's showing us first name. You can turn it off. Not the values, no. Just a minute, let me scroll down. Yeah, take out the title, right? Then instead of seeing this count of how familiar are you, you just come back here to y-axis, you scroll down, the title, values, yeah, title off, right? So automatically we can remove those legends are not, labels are not very necessary in this sense, right? Since this one already tells us that is about familiarity with Power BI, these are the names and these are the categories where people fall into, okay? Let's continue. I have like 2 or 3 more to show you, and then we'll jump back to Power Query. I thought to quickly show you this because if we don't do this now, we might waste the whole time doing Power Query, and then you never get to see the beauty of Power BI. Right, let me quickly add something here. Say, for instance, you want to beautify this, right? You want to make this better in terms of visuals. You can just come here and go to slides, right? Come to columns, can change the color, right? So the default color of Power BI is usually blue, but you can change the color, right? You can make it look better, okay? Let's say use purple, can change the color. Okay, let's try something else. For the visuals, size and style. So you can add a border to this, right? Add a border to this. So it gives you, makes it look better, right? You can also add shadow, right? Some people don't like shadow in their reports, it's fine. Okay, now let me quickly show you something before we move. Right, so imagine we've done all this formatting now on this particular visual, right? It wouldn't be wise to come and start doing the same thing all over again with this visual. So what we can do instead is I just click here one time on this particular one here, formatted very well. Click on the paint tool and then format. Can you see? So it makes you work faster and more efficient, right? When you are trying to do your visuals. Okay. Let's do like two more before we move. So the reason why this has shrunk, you notice that this is not as big as it used to be because there's a filter here and there's a format here. Can you see? So it has come back to normal. So when you start formatting, it will take up more space in your dashboard. Please take note of that. It's very important. Okay. So we can reduce this, right? And then we can add other visuals. Let's say, for instance, gender. Let's see gender male or female. Okay. Mhm. So you can almost remove this in case you don't want it. You can take it out. Okay. So for gender, let's see. Distinct. Right. Can come here and do this. And then again, click format and this. Okay. Let's do one more before we move. What else can we do? Yeah, years of work experience. Let's do this. This is a summary, right? But we don't want a summary. What we need instead is to come here, not summarize, give us an average. So the average of everyone here on this call is six years of work experience, and that's very impressive, very impressive. So come here and then we format, okay? So let's quickly do something, right? I'm just trying to rush so that we don't spend, and we're going back to Power Query, please just bear with me. So say for instance, you have done this and then you notice that it's not well aligned, your graphics are not well aligned. You can just come here and highlight everything, right? Go to format, go to align. So there are many options here. You can distribute horizontally, you can distribute vertically, and you can distribute align in the middle. Right. So instead of trying to guess, okay, let me do if I can come here. No, you don't have to waste your time doing that. Right. You can just come here, go to format, go to align, align middle, align, and all of that. Just make sure that everything is well aligned. Okay. Let me do this again to be sure it's perfect. Horizontally, vertically, and then middle. Aha, very good. So I can take this one and drop it down here. Now, the reason why we use, you could have as well done this in Excel, right? Why did we come all the way to Power BI to do something like this, right? Let's try something else. Let's look at our gender, right? We have this male and female and other, right? Let's try something. Let's say we select only male. Can you see what happened? Automatically, it has filtered all the males, right? Notice that in the countries, they are now 65. Take it out now, 105. Do you understand? If I click on female, same thing happens. The count of gender becomes 1 out of 3 because we add female, male, and other. But since I'm selecting only female, it has reduced, to just female and shown only 1. And then the average age of all the female participants here is 5 years, right? Let's try other. 15 years. What this means is that the number of people that selected other are not many, and then the person probably has 15 years of working experience, right? I hope that is clear. So you can apply filters. So let's just take this one somewhere here. Take it out somewhere here. Okay. Right. What else can we do? Okay, let's go back to Power Query. Okay. There are a lot of questions, Dr. Felix, right?
Yes, I am noting them, not to worry. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So how do we go back to Power Query? Now we are here already, we've done our analysis, things are looking fine. We now realize that, oh my God, there's a mistake, I've goofed, my data is not accurate and all of that. How do I go back? You see this under your home tab, you see transform data, right? Just click on it and tada, we are back. Exactly where we left, like we never left, right? So we can come back here correct whatever we need to correct again, and then go back and continue to actualization. That is the beauty of Power BI, right? That's the beauty of Power BI. It's very flexible. Okay, now let's try and correct some things before we go back. I was not even planning to work with this data today, but well, let's see. Let's see. It's fun, really. So let's say we want to combine this. We need only city and country, right? Nigeria, Port Harcourt, Ghana, Nigeria. Okay. Nigeria, Yola, Nigeria. Okay. Um, we have Cape Coast, we have Nigeria. Okay. All right. So what we can do now is to split this one more time. The reason is because we want to make sure that we have just one value per column. Very important. One value per column. Let's go again. We'll do this. Split by delimiter. This is delimiter here that is common to all, not space. Let's do custom. So if we are doing custom, this is where we can now put our slash, for instance, right? Let's see. Okay. Can you see? That's split again for us, right? So we now have Port Harcourt, Nigeria. So we need this one now. We don't need this other one here, right? But we can remove Nigeria and all of that. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play around till we find the perfect match for us. Okay. So now we can remove all the nulls. Remove value. Null. Replace with empty. Okay. Right. So now we want to make sure that only Nigeria, or let's say only the country and the city remains. Okay. Only the country and the city remains. So let's see. Well, we have Kebbi, Nigeria, Port Harcourt. Okay. Let's see, Port Harcourt, Nigeria, Kenya, Kaduna, and all of that. So I want to reiterate that in the ideal setting, I was supposed to give you, when I was creating that form, I was supposed to give you a drop down where you just select your country, right? I deliberately allowed you to type in your country because I wanted to show you the implication of not categorizing your data. Do you understand? That is why I asked you to type in your data, your this thing by yourself, your country by yourself. For instance, you can see here, Nigeria here is spelled in small letter. Nigeria here is spelled in capital letter. Funny data all across. All right, let's see. Not this two. This one and this one. Okay. Merge. Okay. Okay. Can you see what I just did? I just merged the two columns together. I'll repeat myself, right? Please bear with me. I'll repeat myself. I'll show you again. So what I did basically, let me remove it. Right. So notice that this one here, Nigeria blank. I'm trying to make sure that these two are married together, right? We have a single column, right? So I did this, right click, merge columns. Okay. Let's see, merged. Yeah, let's call it merged. Can you see? Okay. Now let's remove what you don't need from here. Let's say states. We've seen states here. Let's remove states. Again, you likely work more here than in the dashboard itself, right? Okay, let's remove, okay, Accords. Let's remove Accords. Place with dash, right? Let's remove commas. Okay. All right, so let's go back. I have another data I want us to play with before we come back here. Okay. Can you see now? Now that we have done the analysis, this thing is now showing error because we've corrected some things. Can you see? How do we correct that? Can cancel out and then come back here again. Our country is gone. Like the data that contained our country. Let me show you. It was meshed. The data was meshed. Can you see? We no longer have a column called country. Can you see? It has been merged. Do you understand? So let's see. Let's rename this to country and you see that it will come back. So apply and close. Can you see? It's back. So it's flexible such that even if you have made mistakes in your analysis, you can just go back and then correct it and then bring it back. So you notice that there are limitations to our data because we don't have much data to work with, right? There's no sales and all of that. So that's why we have these very few visuals. In about, let's see what we can do in like 20 minutes time. So let's open a new Power BI file, Control N, a new Power BI file, create this one. I'm just trying to maximize our time. We'll get back to the other one we're working with. So again, we want to get data, right? Let's get another data again into our Power BI. And the reason why I left the other one was because we don't want to start merging data together. It's going to be confusing for beginners, right? That's why I left the that other one there. Then we'll come back to that. So in this case now, let's see. So data actually prepared for today's class so that I can show you the beauty of Power BI. Right, so I'll just click on financials and then transform data. Again, Power BI query, Power Query Editor. Once it comes up, right, we'll just go again and see if our data is correct, the labeling is correct, the data type is correct. So data type for country is correct, product is correct, discount is correct, unit sold is correct, is in decimals, yeah, decimals. Manufacturing price is correct. Sales price is correct. Gross sales is correct. Discount is correct. Yeah, everything is correct. What we want to do now is to merge this column and turn it to dates. Notice that we have month name. That's basically name of the month and then the year, right? We can just come here, highlight these three, right click, merge columns. So when you merge column, what happens is that it will join the three of them together. 1, 2, 3. They will become one column. All right, let's call this dates. Let's add a space and okay. Can you see? We now have 1st January 2014, 1st January, 6th June, and all of that. Okay, we've merged that data. So the only thing that is left now is to change this data type. It's in ABC text format. We can come here and choose dates. Right? Can you see that has given us this? Okay. Can go back and then check everything to make sure it's accurate. Once we're sure it's accurate, we can just come back here. So there are other options there you can see. You can see apply, close, but why not just click on close and apply because you are done with your data cleaning. Okay. It's still loading. Just give it a minute. Okay, our data is here. Always check at the right hand side there to see your data. Very important. Always check at the right hand side to see your data. Okay, now that we've added that, we'll just click on, we expand this view. Let's quickly do a visualization before we take our do our Q&A. Okay, this one is very important for us, especially for the people that are using Power BI for the very first time. Okay, let's start. Let's say we want to do visualization for the sales. Okay, we want to see the number of sales we've made in the year, right? Let me add the filter. Okay, good. Okay. So I always like putting my filter here. So please, for those of us that are advanced users, please just bear with us. Is today's for the very beginners. Tomorrow we're going to advance a bit. We're going to look at DAX and data modeling and all of that, drilling and all. So today just for people that are using Power BI for the very first time. So please just bear with us. Okay. So having done this, I'm going to look at okay, let's create a text. Can come here, double click, very important. If you don't double click, you'll not be able to type financials. Let's call this financials. Again, if you want to make this text to be bold, if you don't highlight this, it's not going to be bold, right? Look at this. It's not working. Until I highlight this, click on bold, becomes bolden. So if I come here, I can increase the size of the text like this, even make it way bigger. Let's try 60. Then drag this. Take this up. Take this down. Okay. So please just hold on. I'm going to attend to your questions. Just a minute, I'll attend to all your questions. So now let me quickly explain something to you. Now we have what we call KPIs, right? This here is a KPI. What does it mean? Key performance indicator. So at a glance, you want to see the summary of your sales in a year, right? So let's say you want to see it across countries. In the United States, you made 25 million. In Mexico, you made 20 million. In Germany, he made 23 million. In France, 24 million. In Canada, 24 million. So if you want to deselect, right, just click on that particular one you selected before. Again, can you see? It's back. You can click on United States. That's filtered to United States. Click on it again, and then to give you back the default, right? So let's keep doing the KPIs. Let's do products, right? Let's change it to this. This is the KPI here. It's a card. So we can make this count. Let's do count distinct. Yeah, normal count. So we have 700 products for this data, right? 700 products for this data. So you can change the data type, the visualization type as you wish, right? Let's see another one we can do. Let's do units sold. Units sold, right? This one here. So the reason why I'm putting this at the top here, oh boy, just a minute. Okay. So the reason why we are doing this here is because at a glance, we want to see how we are doing. That is why it's called KPI, right? Key performance indicator. We want to see how far we are doing, business-wise. Okay. All right, let's continue. So we can also do discounts. Yeah, how many discounts do we give out in a year? Let me undo it. You can also actually do Control Z here on this dashboard here, right? But when you're in Power Query, Control Z does not work. The only thing that works there is that X icon where you have to cancel out, right? So click outside again. Don't click on something here and then click on discount, for instance, to change it, right? Undo that. Click outside. Click on discount. For instance, this one. Let me click outside here. Okay, discount. Hold on, please. Can also do this. Can you see? So if it's misbehaving, you can just drag and drop. You can drag and drop. So I can also come here and just drag out my dates. Can you see? If it's misbehaving and let's say, for instance, what it's doing before, as I'm clicking it here, it's giving me something else. Just drag it from here and then drop it on your dashboard, right? Okay, right. What else do we need to do? Let's look at profits. How profitable was our business for the year? Look at profits. Okay, very important. What else can we do? We've done units sold. Yeah, we've done, okay, this should be enough for now. Let me reduce this a bit. Okay, so let's quickly format this. We'll go to align, distribute horizontally, distribute vertically, then align in the middle. Okay, what we can now do is this. Look at this. Let me give you a trick I usually use, right, for aligning these items together. You can just come here. I think it's even best I put visual style. Let's see. So visual border, right? This is very helpful. So we have this already, right? I want all these ones to have the same size. What I usually do is I just come here, click on this one, align it here, align it here, then take it back, right? Then I can now do that same thing I did earlier, just format it, paste. Okay? The same thing again, click on this one, drag it here, drag here to make sure it's the same size. Click on this, format, click, right? So I'll do the same thing for this one again. Align, make sure it's aligned here. Take it outside. So the reason this is shrinking like this again is because we have this one and we have this one open. Can you see? So it's back to the normal size back. Okay, so we can now click on this one again, format this again, click on this, highlight this, drag this out, drag this, then this other one now format it, format. So what we can now do again is to make sure that these are all aligned. Okay, we'll go to format, go to align, can do align, no, not align center, no. We're going to do align middle here. Yeah, it's align middle we need. Distribute horizontally, distribute vertically. Yeah, this is it now. Okay, so that's the first step. I also want to inform you that in Power BI, you can bring in your, let's say your logo, your company logo, or any image of your choice actually. Let's see. So you can come here, you can look for, I already downloaded an image for this. So you can drop your logo here or here, anywhere is fine, really, just anywhere of your choice. Okay. So now let's do some visualizations. Let's say you want to see your sales across board. Okay. You want to do your profits and your products. How profitable are your products? You can just drag in here, drag in your profits, drag in your products, turn it to a chart according to your products. Now, I'm going to explain. Just a minute. Can take this one out. So this is simply saying that, okay, across my all the products that I have now, which one is most profitable, right? You can see here that Paseo is more profitable compared to VTT, which is next, Amarelia. Dr. Felix, please.
I don't know how urgent this question, but someone is saying sum of profit is covering a card. I don't know. Like
Sum
one
of
card is
profits.
missing. Yeah, it's covering a card. The person first said one card is missing. I don't know if that is relevant.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh, thank you for that. Yes, 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 he's right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I didn't even notice. Yeah, thank you. Okay, let me resize this again. It's because of the canvas size, actually. Thank you for that observation. Okay, so we can do this now to make sure that it's aligned. Shows you are following. Okay, and take this back up and do this. Thank you. And then this here. Okay, so we can now rearrange this now. Okay, just rearrange it. Give Power BI a sense of what we want to achieve. Then highlight all. Go to format. Let's align horizontally, align vertically, and then align middle. Right. Thank you very much for that observation. That's very thoughtful of you. Okay. So now we have our KPIs displayed there. Now I want to show the charts, to filter out whatever we need. So again, if I filter out United States of America, all of a sudden, can you see? This is the cell in the United States, the cell, this Paseo United States, Paseo, VTT United States. Can see that Carretera is the least, in terms of sales in the United States. Okay. Again, click on it again to return it back to your initial state. Okay. I'm going to format this now. Let me format this. So again, if you want to format, you go to filters. Shoot. Hmm. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay. I'm coming. Let me quickly finish up, then we'll come back to formatting. Okay. Let's do the next one. The next one is going to be, let's do discounts and products. So I want to see how many of your products were discounted, right? So you can drag this outside, discounts by products, right? So you can do this instead of doing the normal chart, you can do a stack chart, okay? Then format. So to format this now, again, it's the same process. We can leave our title and then change it here. Instead of writing sum of, you cannot write discount by product or product discounted. Okay, can do that. And then you can also give it a border. No, not on that title. Under size and style, you can just scroll down, visual border, right? So again, you can just click on this, go to the painter, and then format this. Okay, so for visual consistency purposes, you can just come here, drag this on top of this, and then make sure that they are aligned like this, then take it back. Okay, so we can even drag this one down and drag it down here, down here. Okay, you can now see that they are not fully aligned. Now they are aligned. Yes. Okay, this one is now aligned. So we can just drag this one here. Okay, let's do one more. Then after that, we do our Q&A. I think we still have like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, let's try something else. Let's
Wait,
try sales. Sorry, Dr. Phillips, you saying something?
yes, we have like 30, it's the session ends at 8:30.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. All right. All right. That's duly noted. That means we still have time to explore more. Okay. So let's see. We have this, and we want to have sales by country. Let's see the countries that are doing very well. So we can just drag and drop country, and then we can do our sales. So we can do, I notice that we're just doing only one chart, and that's not how it is in real life. You can do other charts as well. Let's see. Hmm. Hold on, please. Okay. Let me change this to, can change this now to this, a pie chart or a bubble chart, right? Then we can quickly correct this by going to right click, format. So for the title, can write sales by country, can remove this sales by country, can make it bold. Okay. Then we can centralize it here, right? Okay. So we can do the same thing here. Can just bolden this and then centralize it. Can come here. profits by products, holding it, and then centralize it. Okay. So let me add, okay, instead of just doing that, I can just copy and paste, right? Data, paste. Okay. For consistency purposes, I'm going to come here, drag this, the same size, and then this. So I'll just come here, highlight all. Okay. Go to format, data, align middle, horizontally, and vertically. Right. So it's more consistent now. Okay. Let's see. Let's do another page. Right. You can go to another page. So within this same, so far we have the same data here, right? You can still do more visuals. That is the beauty of Power BI. Just clicking plus and then you have something. Before I go, I want to show you something, right? In page one, if you see, if I click on mobile layout and I click on auto create, can you see? To give us this automatically. We don't have to do anything, right? Just gives us this. But of course, we have to, if you're not comfortable with what you are saying, you can come in and manually select and then make it your preferred choice, right? Something like this, or 18, or 24, 28. You understand? So in mobile view, you can still do this. You can still go to United States, so I can say go to Mexico and all of that. So the reason is because, say for instance, you are viewing it on your mobile. This is exactly how it's going to look on your mobile. So Power BI does, a lot of work for us behind the scenes to make sure that we don't have to do a lot of manual stuff. Okay, so let's go back to our desktop view. Okay, then we'll just minimize this. Then we are back. Filters, we're back. So on page two, let's see what else we can do. Let's see. We can do sales by month name. Let's click on sales and then name of the month. Phew. Sales and just a minute. Gross sales, unit sales. Okay, let's try unit sold by product. I think we've done that one already. I want to make sure that we cover all. Oh, we've not done that one already. Unit sold by product. Okay, let's try that one. Unit sold. So when we do this, you can, whenever you click on two variables, right, these fields, right, you see that sum of sales is here, sum of unit is here. But if you select a chart, right, for instance, say a line chart, ribbon chart, can you see? It changes to y-axis and x-axis. So you can now drag this one to y-axis, right? You can also remove this, bring it to y-axis, and then take this one to x-axis. Is that flexible? I hope you're following, right? So it's not cast in stone. You can, whatever you want to see in your x-axis. For instance, you want to see units sold in the x-axis, right? That's why I put it here. Units sold, this one in x-axis. And I want to see the sum of sales in the y-axis. That's why I brought this one to sum of sales in y-axis, right? Again, I can remove it, just drag and drop, add, right? Drop unit sales down here. Can you see? Is that flexible? Okay, let's try something else. I think I have about 6 minutes before we go into Q&A. Um, let's try profit and gross sales. So just basically just playing around with all these items. Okay, let me quickly say this, right? Before, so some people are wondering like, okay, how do I know which indicator to use and all of that, right? Before I even start doing visualization, right, I want to show you a process I use, right? This is it. I have my fields already. I always populate this, right? The reason is because you want to make sure that all your KPIs are covered. The reason is because when you are here, for instance, right, you might miss a lot of things because this view is not very is not wide enough. You understand? So before you even start doing your visualization, always make sure that you have your KPI list selected, you have your fields, you have everything selected already, right? In Excel or paper. Ideally, I usually use pencil and paper, right? just to write it out down. But because of the purpose of this class, I wrote it down here so that we can see what we are doing, right? So for count, I have my count, I have my unit, so I can do filters for all of this, right? Let's even try it. Let's do filter for unit sold. So we can just come here, unit sold. It's showing us this, but we can just click here on filter. Can you see? So we can now come here, drag. Can you see it's changing here already? Can also drag here as well, right? So that is the beauty of writing down what you intend to analyze. You're right, what you intend to visualize. It's very important. So you can also do that for month name here and all. Let's even try here. Let's do here. Okay, what the dates here. Okay, so we can just come here and do filter. Can you see? 2013, can you see? Can double click 2014. Okay, so let's see what else we can do. Okay, so this other ones here we'll cover it tomorrow. This is where we now start writing DAX values, right? You can do average, minimum, maximum, and all of that. So we'll use DAX to write that tomorrow. Okay, let's see what else we can do before we take questions for tonight and call it a day. Then cancel this out. Okay, I think we can stop here for tonight, Dr. Felix, so we can take questions.
All right. Thank you very much, Victor.
So,
So this is power lecture on Power BI. Yeah, thank you. And I know everyone appreciated the class. I did myself as well. So we will take the questions now, but first of all, let me read the messages we have first. Then
hmm,
after the messages on the chat, then we can now open the microphones for the audience to ask their questions.
all
So
right.
I will start with the first person. Victoria asks, please, where do we go to the selection for futures?
I wish I can see the question.
She asks, please, where do we go to do selection for futures?
For
I think that,
features.
yeah, I don't know if that is clear, but if it's not, then let me see if I can unmute everyone so that
Okay,
she can
yes,
ask the
please.
question
Hmm.
herself. All right, so Beauty, you can, I think you would have the privilege now to unmute and ask the no, it's not Beauty, I'm sorry, it's DK. DK Victoria Chiemela. If you're still here, let me confirm.
Okay, yes, I'm still
Yeah.
here. Good evening.
Okay.
Hello, good evening.
Good
Please,
evening.
can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you
Okay,
loud and
okay.
clear. Mm.
So regarding that features, the time when he was mentioning while he has this other drop down menu, he said he had to make sure that at every instant, did he say after 2 weeks or something, that the features are always updating, so that you must always go and click on all the features so that you can have all the latest updates on Power BI. So I wanted to know where you can go to find those features, like when they update and how you can get it on your own version of Power BI. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. So, is you go to File. From File, you go to Options and Settings, and then you click on Options here. So I said alternatively, you can just click on this button here. Can you see bottom right, Settings, right? So when you come here, it's going to load now. So you go to Preview Features here. Preview features, right? So the reason why I have all these extra tabs, we're going to explore them tomorrow. They are advanced stuff there. That's why I don't want to confuse people that are starting Power BI for the first time. That's why I didn't touch these tabs, right? The reason why we want to select everything is because whenever there's a new feature, right? Power BI usually releases new stuff like I think every month or every 2 weeks. I'm not sure. So make sure that everything here is selected so that you have access to all of them. Let me give you an instance, right? Look at this. I have access to this. I'm sure most people don't have access to this in their Power BI. This is DAX to this is DAX query view. This is TTML. Okay. This one is common one, right? We have the report view, table view, and the model view. This is what everybody has. But by the time select those features, right, you now have access to DAX query view, TMDL, right? We're going to cover this tomorrow, right? That's what I was saying, that make sure that you always, whenever you are here, make sure that you check everything that you need to check. It's very important. Just make sure you just select everything, basically. Select everything you see under preview features. Make sure everything's selected. Right. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
All right. My pleasure. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Before I go to the next question, let me confirm. I saw that someone from Wuhan, China signed in. I think that should be from where I'm collaborating, the Chinese Academy of Science in Beijing,
Oh,
China. I don't know if they are still online. It's 3 a.m. now in Beijing.
wow.
So is the
Wow.
person still here? Okay, it's fine, but thank you for actually joining. I didn't think my colleagues in China would actually join. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let me proceed with the next question. Please, can you recap what you said about changing the charts?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, sure. It's quite easy. Okay. Say for instance, you are here, right? You are using um a pie chart or the bubble chart in this instance, right? You can just come here, click. That's it. You've changed the chart. As simple as that. Can go back to normal pie charts. Can come back to bar charts. This is as simple as that, really. You can change it to anything you want. It's not rocket science, really. So it's just depending on your need per time. What you want to make sure to do is that one that you want to change that is selected. Very important. Don't select something else and then try to change it here, right? It's the one you need to change that you change. Right. I hope that is clear.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Victor. So I'll take the next question. So that's from Catherine. I'm just wondering, when we add 0, then we must have certain assumption in our analysis, say plus or minus 2% or whatever the parameter. You remember that column that has the error, that you
I
change the
do.
error to 0. So Catherine is asking if this is clear. I'm just wondering, when we add 0, then we must have certain assumption in our analysis, say plus or minus
Mm.
2%.
Yes, yes, you're right. Yes, we do have those assumptions. So the reason why we want to make sure that all the nulls and errors are gone is because when you come to Power BI and start doing your visualization and all of that, if you don't have, a clean data, you run into so many problems, I assure you. I will give you instances tomorrow when we're going to the advanced, writing DAX and all of that. If you don't do proper cleaning in the Power Query Editor and you bring in your data to Power BI and you start doing analysis with all those, some people wrote 7 like SEVEN, some people wrote 80, then hours, in all of that. If you don't clean those data in Power Query, don't worry. Tomorrow is best to come and see it so that I can see the implications of not cleaning your data properly. So yes, there are those assumptions that we allow for room for error. Uh, you know, bearing in mind that people don't always fill data accurately, and that's what I was hammering on the fact that when you are giving out a form to people to fill, or for instance, you want people to fill in data into a database, make sure that it is categorical. Very important, except for few that are they are text-based, for instance, people's name and all of that. You can leave it as just text. But if you want to have categorical data like a number, make sure that it's strictly number, right? You can have that data validation in Excel and all of that to make sure that you have numbers so that you avoid all this process. I deliberately make sure that the data is that way so that you can have a feel, the kind of work you do if you have such data. Can see that we spent close to 30 minutes or so, just trying to clean data and all of that. But if we had the one that I brought in later that was clean, in about 3 minutes or so, we're done. So that was the point I was trying to make, by making the data that way. I hope that is answered.
Thank you, Victor. So I'll take another one from DK. Can we use different delimiters at the same time in one setting?
No, it's one per time. It's one per time. I think it's best yeah. And it's going to be very confusing, right? Let me show you. Um, is there something? Okay, let's try this. Let's see, want to remove based on slash, right? This slash here, right? You can just come here and you can remove or transform. Hold on. Change type. No, not this one. Sorry, not this column. That one is the date column. You can't split the date column. Let me go to the other data. Can't split that one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is where we sit. Okay. Say for instance, we have let's see. Okay, this one has space, for instance. We highlight it, we'll do split by delimiter, right? Can you see that if you select comma, for instance, that's it. Like nothing again that you can select. If you select colon equals to sign. So if you select on tab, right, you can now do tab comma, for instance. Sure, you see all manner of errors. So it's best you don't even do it. Just cancel it out. Sure, you understand? You just take it one step at a time. That's your best bet. One step at a time. You just do splits by delimiter, remove based on, let's do space, leftmost, and then okay. When you are done, do for the next one like that. So it doesn't even confuse you, right? It's best that way, it doesn't confuse you. You know what you are doing. So one step at a time. So again, I'll emphasize that it's best to have a good data, a clean data. I'll show you examples tomorrow when we go to the advanced section. I wanted to make sure that, the very beginners, like I used to call them, among us, carried along because some people, might never have used Power BI before. That's why I quickly left this place because we would spend the whole time, in Power Query trying to clean data where we can just do other stuff, right? So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Victor. So I'll take another one. Says, how do we find those alien from millions of observations?
How do we find
Those alien.
alien?
Yeah,
Like,
alien. Yeah, I think they would mean like outliers, I guess.
oh, okay. Right,
Uh,
interesting.
if we
Let's
have
see.
like millions of data, how do we easily pick out outliers or something?
Okay, so I'll be sincere with you. It's it's a tough job, right? I said earlier that the job of a Power BI developer, you spend more time cleaning data than it took about maybe 10 minutes to do all of this, right? This is very basic, right? We'll do something more advanced tomorrow. You spend more time trying to clean data. So I'm telling you ahead of time that to the best of my knowledge, there's no except maybe use a script, for instance, our scripts, right, or Python script, right? But in Power Query Editor, to the best of my knowledge, I've not seen any tool that you can use to, you know, clean that sort of data in a go, not a go, right? When I do, I'll definitely share, or I'll even research this night to see if it's possible. If it's possible, I'll share with you tomorrow. But right now, to the best of my knowledge, nah. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
All right, thank you. So someone asks, how will you know if your data set has some missing values? Are you going to scroll one variable after the
No,
other?
no, no.
Or no.
No, it's not that we don't do that way. So for instance, we come here, let's go back to Power Query Editor. See this drop down button here. Can you see? If there was a null value to just show here instantly. That's how it works. Instantly to show. Okay, let's even try and let's see if we can remove a value. Replace with 0 or null. Or it can't be null. Okay, let's try something around here. Let's say anonymous. Yeah, null. Okay, so if we do this drop down now, can you see? Blank. It's always there. So you don't have to keep scrolling. I hope that's clear. If there is a null or blank value in your sheet or in your column, it will just show here. So you can come here and deselect it. Right. That's the fastest way you can do it. Right. Let me remove this back. Or let me even try something else around here. Right. Let's see. A real data. Place with 0. Can you see it's gone? So if I do this drop down now, can you see there's blank now? So you don't have to scroll to the very end to see all your records, you can just do this and then you see it's gone. Let me remove that. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Victor. The next one is from Osborne. Please, how will you remove the title from a name list? Like, for example, you have Dr. Insol. How do you remove doctor from Insol?
Okay. It's quite easy, right? So for instance, this one here, okay, I've already split this one now. So let me try this. We have okay, let's say I remove Vicent, right, for instance, or V. I'm looking for the one that is quite easy. Okay, let me see if there's another doctor somewhere that is so it be easier to split. Doctor, or a Mr., whichever one. Oh, I've already split all the okay. Let's see. Let me load another data again. So it will be I'll show you. Let's go to data. Let's do Control N. We'll go to our data again. Okay. So we'll go back to our Excel. Data. Oh, not this one. Data. Yeah, training data. Okay. So when this comes up again, we'll go to transform data. Right. Okay. So we have doctor here. Right. We can just right click this. We have to split column, right? If you want to remove doctor, for instance, that one is the easiest. You can just come here, remove doctor, just type DR, replace with nothing, right? And that's it. Can you see? But you should even do that, right? Because you know that after doctor, there's still space, right? What you cannot do is that you right click, replace values with doctor and space. I hope that's clear. So it will remove the doctor and the space together, right? Can you see? Now it's gone. Okay. The other alternative is to split the table. But in this case, since you know that just one person, right? You can just do there and remove. I'm sure that's removed the other one as well. The one that was down, you can see is gone. I hope you understand. I hope that's clear. So the same thing for Mr. Say for instance, there's a Mr. or Mrs. You can just do that and then remove it, and then the person is that title is gone. So you can just have your clean data. Right. Yeah, Dr. Felix.
All right, thank you. So another question, can you copy and paste the visualization to Word document?
Oh, of course, yes, yes. Yeah, it's very possible. Very, very possible. So you can just let that one finish loading. Let me open a Word document. So then this. So we can just come here, copy. Hold on. Okay, I didn't copy. Let me try again. Yeah, copy visual. Why is it not pasting? Hold on. Copied before. So alternatively, if it doesn't copy, right? So this is what you can do. Let me show you something. See if you try to copy, like in my own case now, it's not copying. You can use snipping tool. Can you see this? Snipping tool. But I know it usually copies. I don't know why it's not copying now, right? You can just come here, for instance, copy this, right? Then go to your Microsoft Word. and paste. But ideally, you should copy. I will try it again. I usually copy visuals from Power BI to a Word document, right? So usually copy. So I'll just try again, but I usually copy. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Osborne is asking if you could explain the filter part. I don't know if you had done that recently.
Let me quickly do that again. Okay, so for instance, in this case now, we have country. So whenever I want to apply filters, make sure that it's something that is that will give you a drastic change. For instance, country, for instance, gender, that will make it very visually distinct from all the things you are seeing on board, on your screen. So for instance, you want to know the financial state of your product in the United States. When you click on it, can you see it applies to all the visuals on the dashboard, right? If you click again, it deselects it. So is a two-way thing. The first click selects it, the second click deselects it. Okay. So you can switch between United States, Mexico, Germany, France, Canada, and to deselect it, just click again. That's it. It's as simple as that.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Beauty is asking, suppose that you deleted some data during the cleaning process. When you
Hmm.
transpose the data, will the deleted item return?
Okay. I want to understand that. I think the transpose means that you are now in the dashboard, or maybe you can unmute her, please, so she can explain better.
Yeah, she can unmute. Beauty,
Okay.
Maxwell, Tobin. Let me see if she's here. Let me see if she's still online. Beauty, yeah, she's still online. Ask to unmute. You can unmute yourself now.
Hello, Beauty, are you there?
Okay, so we can proceed
Okay.
to so you had answered the Maureen is saying, please can you show us how to split the dates back to year, month, and days?
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think she's referring to this one. This one here, where we combined them before, right? So we can just come here and go to, where is it? Hold on. That's to be, okay, I have to remove this first. Yeah, I have to remove this first. Yes. No, hold on. Can change this to ABC here. Good. So you can now come here, split by delimiter, then each occurrence. Can you see? So the thing is that when you want to, let me undo so that I can show you again. Okay. When you want to undo a hold on, let me see. Okay, yes. So for instance, you want to let's merge them again first so I can show you. Right click, merge columns. You will call this one dates. Right. We have a dates column now, right? If we change this, okay, let me remove and let me merge again. The reason why I want to merge again is because there was no space between the dates, right? So separator should be space, right? And then we'll do dates. Then okay. Right, you can see we have this. So if we set this to date, this data type to date, right? It won't allow us to split. Can you see? There's no option to split. For you to be able to split, you have to come back here and manually change it to either text or normal data. Do you understand? So now that it's back to normal data, like normal text, you can now come here, right click, go to split column by delimiter. Make sure you use space because why? There's a space between 1 and January, and there's a space between January and 2014, and it's the same across board, right? So what you now do is that when you right click, go to split column by delimiter. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure that the most common thing across board, that's what you use. That's why it's called like the denominator, so to speak, right? What is common across board? That's what you want to use. You can split column by delimiter, use a space, and this is very important. Each occurrence, if you do leftmost, let me show you. Can see one, then the rest is going back again. You don't want to do that, right? What you want to do instead is that you want to make sure you have this. Let me move this again. You want to make sure that you have this split column, delimiter, and make sure that each occurrence, that means it's going to split between 1 and January and between January and 2014 across board. Can you see? So what you cannot do is that you not come here and say, like for instance, day, just rename it day, month, right? And then year. Okay, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. So we would move to is it possible to give different colors for the different product in BI?
Yes, it is. So just 1 minute. Let me put this back to the default, the date mode, so that the visuals can come back. Okay, so can just merge this 1, 2, 3, merge columns, dates. Oh, hold on. Let me put a separator. The month and year, 3 of them. Merge columns. Separator can be this. Then all these dates. Sorry, 1 minute. Let me quickly do this. Here we use a space. Yeah. Aha, good. So we'll now come back here and change the data type. Very important, to dates. Aha, so when we apply and close now, our visuals will be back. Okay, hold on. What's this? Okay. Sorry, 1 minute. Let me quickly fix this. Pew, pew. Oh, I know why. I know why. We've altered so many things. I know why. Let me just remove them. We've altered so many things. We've altered so many things. So, okay, this should work now. Dates. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so there's a cheat code, right? Say for instance, you're having something like this that is giving you problem, right? Just go to recent source, right? Go to, we are using financial sample, right? Click on it again. Right, then click OK. Right, so what you now want to do is this. You come here to month, day, and year again, right? Merge, use space, do date again. Okay, then change this back to dates. Okay, apply and change. So what you now do is this, right? In this visual now, you look at where you used it from. You use sales, right? You come here, change it to sales. So you change this one back to sales and remove this. Can you see? I'm doing this because I have the experience. I've experienced something like this before. So this particular visual now is from this unit sold. You come here, you click on unit sold, and then you deselect this one. Can you see? Profits, you click on profits, then you deselect this. Because sometimes it will, I mean, you have such errors, right? It happens like that. So your best bet usually to just replace them. So in this case now, we have sales and country. So you come here, sales and country, then you deselect the other one. Can you see? So that's how it works. In this case, we have discounts and products. We'll come here, discounts and products. Then you deselect these other ones. Which visual is this? Let's do chart. Oh, okay, there are two data. No, we don't need this one. Okay. Discounts, then products. Okay. So this other one is, yeah, Beauty. I can see your hand is raised. Hello,
Yes, so
Beauty.
sorry. Yes, I asked, it was my question. Mr. Felix was trying to read. My network logged me out, so I didn't
Oh,
know
so
the
sorry.
response you gave
Oh,
about the
what,
data after deleting it.
okay, we're trying to, yeah, I didn't get your question actually. We're trying to reach out to you so you could explain better.
Yes, I was logged out. You said that
Oh,
during the power query, when we clean
yes,
data, it's
yes.
deleted permanently. And then
Hmm.
later you said that if we can, you were trying to explain that supposing we noticed that there was an error somewhere, we could call back the data. So I was
Oh,
wondering,
oh,
those things
oh,
that
oh,
were
oh.
deleted, if they could come back.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. This is what I meant, right? So when you have data, when you import data from, say, your CSV, your Excel, and all of that, right? Bear in mind that when you import them into Power BI, your data is safe. Let me explain to you. If I come here and open my training data, this data here, everything, the way it was, the way it came in raw, is still here. Can you
Okay,
see? Yeah, all your data is still safe. Nothing affects your data. All the
okay,
responses are still safe, right? It doesn't. So when we are doing all those cleaning in Power BI, right, we want to make sure that for visualization purposes, right, some things are taken out. Because you want to visualize this now, even in Excel, to give you problem. This one like this, it will give you problem in Excel, not even Power BI. Let's try it. We want to say we do a chart. Can you see? It will give you
mhm,
problems. Do you understand? So it's always best you clean it first before you visualize. So when we take it to Power BI, we want to make sure that all these things are corrected before we start visualization. But bear in mind that your data is always, always with you. Like nothing that it doesn't affect your data. Your raw data that you imported is safe. I hope that answers your question.
yes, sir. So by the transformation or transposing, we could get it back. Now, that's what you said.
Okay, I think I'm referring to this. Let me go back. This one here. Is it this one you're referring to?
Not the chart, the table itself. After we have worked on it,
Okay,
the
this one.
scenario you created was that,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Transform data. Yes, you can go back. Yeah, that's what I meant. You can go back. So
okay,
what I'm trying to explain is that it's not cast in stone. Say, for instance,
okay.
you are now visualizing, now realize that you have made a mistake, right? Say you are here, right? You've done a lot of things, and you now realize that, oh my God, I've made a mistake. So you can just come back here to transform data. These two here. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you come back here, you can now make your corrections again and then go back. I hope that's clear.
Okay, so it means that those things that were deleted, they are no longer permanent, like you said now. If
No,
we
no,
could
no, it's
get
not
them back.
permanent. Yeah, of course we can
Okay,
get. You can just use your steps and get them back. Yeah. So for instance, you
okay,
can come here and just click on these steps here.
okay,
All
okay.
these
Thank you,
steps here.
sir.
Yes, yes, my pleasure. Victoria's hand is raised. Please go ahead. Hello, Victoria.
So I think that's a mistake from my end. I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know
no
which
problem.
Victoria it is.
It's my It's my own Victoria. Good evening, sir.
Oh, okay. Hello. Good evening.
Okay, so I was going to ask about the dates. If assuming you want to use dates for these visuals, when you select the date option there, would it break it into months, day, and year?
Yeah, ideally it does, right? But there's something Power BI does for us. It gives us what we call date hierarchy. Let me show you. So we have dates here, for instance. Can you see date hierarchy? It gives us year, month, and day. Okay. Let me show you in practice. Say, for instance, we do a filter somewhere here, right? And then we go to dates, and then we see date hierarchy. We want to do just months. Can you see? To give us months. All the months are here. Down to December. Sure you get. So you can just drag this down and fit into the screen. So basically, you are free to choose January to filter out January. You choose to February, March, April, May, June, right? So most times, the reason what we want to do is to select the year instead, right? Because it's better to just filter a year. But if you want to go very, very granular, right? You want to choose the months, of course. There's that option here. Just go to date hierarchy and then choose you can even use quarter, right? Quarter one, quarter two, and all of that. Yeah, it's that flexible. So you can do quarter four. So I'm hoping that quarter one is referring to January, February, March, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you. We still have just a few more, then we can uh close. How do you know the right analysis to carry out with a given data set? Do you just assume you're answering a specific business question? Like
Very
how do
good.
you get the data to tell a story?
Exactly. So remember I showed you this KPI metrics. Before I start my analysis, before I start doing the whole visualization thingy, I'll look at the data. Let me show you. So this is the data here. Financials. Let me open the financials data. Because I realize that's a very good question because I realize that many people make that mistakes, right? When they want to start doing the analysis, they just open the data and start working. It's very confusing, I can tell you, right? So what we want to do is that look at things that you can likely visualize. Sales. You want to know the total number of sales. You want to know the average number of sales. You want to know the cost of goods produced. You want to know your profits. You want to know, gross sales, sales price. These are things you want to look out for. That is why if you see the way I did it here, I listed it out. The metrics. These are the words like executives want to know. How are we doing in terms of all this? The filter, right? Like you saw the filter we did now. We can do in terms of year, okay, per year, last year compared to this year, how are we doing financially? Months by months, by unit sold, how are we doing? You can filter based on this, right? Also for count, we can do, that's where the KPIs come in. Let me show you this one here. All these ones here. That's where they come in, right? This is what they want to see mostly because these are the performance indicators, right? So before you start your analysis, right, it's very important that you do this. Like I said, I usually do it on paper and pencil, just write it out, look at the data, write it out. But for the purpose of this class, you can't see my pencil and paper. So that's why I wrote it out here. So ideally, you make sure that you do this. It's very important, right? I hope that answers your question.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So two more. Okay, I think this is a technical stuff which can be sorted out. I tried signing into Power BI after installation on Microsoft Store. I keep getting can't access your account message. What
Oh.
can I do? That's from David Adeyeye.
Okay, let me see. So if you want to install Power BI, your best bet is to go to Microsoft Store. This one here. You can just search for it. Store, Microsoft Store. Okay. Once it comes up, once it's up like this, just search for Power BI. I've already typed it, so Power BI. And then you see get, instead of installed, you see get here, you click on get, and then it loads up and all of that. So the reason why you're having an error most likely is because you don't have a work email to sign in. If you are signed in on normal email, the chances are that it will throw you error, right? But in my own case, now this is my organizational email. You can see .microsoft.com. If you have something like this, you are good to go. But if you don't, it's going to throw you those. But I'm more than happy to help. If you can reach out to Dr. Felix or join the group and then ask your question, I'm more than willing to help you.
Thank you for that. Then another one, yeah, okay, someone already answered that you will need school organizational email. So one last question in the chat. Okay, can it present data in tables? That's Power BI.
Oh, sure. Of course. It's because of time. I didn't, let me see. This unit sold sales. I'm coming, please. Just a minute. Unit sold and sales. So please take note of this. Whenever you have such an error like this, please take note. You can just import the data you had before and then change it. That's the fastest way to do it. If not, the frustration is terrible. I've been here before, that's why I know. Okay, just replace this. Okay, and do this instead. So just drag this to y-axis. X-axis. Okay, yes. So for this one, please, I'm coming out. Quickly just fix this. Okay, this is a card, profit. Okay, profit. And then remove this. Yeah, please take the question again, please. A table, right? How to insert a table? Is that the question?
How to present the data in a table.
Yeah. So there's a table here. You can see. This is a table, but you want to make it better. This one. The table in Power BI. You can use a table. You can see. So you have to make sure that your data, it's contextual, right? You can't have, for instance, let's say, which like a discount, right? Now I want to use the table for it. It doesn't work, right? That has to be something that can work with the table. I don't know that that's clear, right? So for instance, I just come here. Can you say it's giving us? I hope you understand. It has to be something that has columns and rows, not just, for instance, here, you see that for the year, you can see that it has year, quarter, month, and day. That is why table works for it. I hope that's clear. If you try it on discount as a table, can you see what it's showing you? Showing you as a summary. Do you understand? I hope that's clear.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Mm.
he said it is. So one last question from Catherine Wekesa. I think that's the final question we'll take for the day. If you have data that is in Likert scale, say from a survey, do you need to transform that data to numerical instead of say strongly agree, strongly disagree, blah, 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 transforming it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead?
That's a very technical question. I'm glad someone asked it. So yes, so there are two ways to it, right? So first of all, if you have a Likert scale in applications like Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Forms, let me show you the data. It will show you as numbers. Can you see? Look at this question. It shows how familiar are you with PowerPoint. Remember that you didn't see any number when you were filling this, if you recall. There was no number here, right? Let me show you the training data, the questions. This is the question here. How familiar are you with Power BI? There's no number here, right? But it's intelligent enough to know that you need number, categorical data, right? So, okay. Say, for instance, you use another platform, say maybe Google Form or whatever, and then it doesn't give you number. It's not showing you, all this, right? What you can now do is when you get to Power BI, right? When you get to Power BI, let me go to this, right? What you want to do is this. When you come here to transform data, for the sake of analysis, right? You can even directly analyze it, right? You can analyze it directly. But if you want to be on the safe side, right, just go to let's say this is the column you are looking for. Let me look for a column, right? Something like this, right? Right click, replace values. But you can still analyze, right? Let me even give you an instance. Let me give you an instance. Say you want to analyze the countries, right? Let's go to this next page. Let me delete this so we can have space. So look at countries, this, right? We can do this. Let me make it distinct. Oh, they are, okay, they are scattered variables. Okay, let's try something else. I want to show you something. Let's go back to our transform data. I'm looking for something that we can easily use. Here, products. Let's try products. Okay, so we use products, right? We can do this. We have to change this to not x-axis. Hold on. Okay, there has to be another one in the y-axis. Okay, y-axis. Okay, so we can see visualize it, right? So we can say, for instance, or you have agree, disagree, and all of that. You cannot use people's names in that instance, right? You can say, okay, which person agreed, which person disagreed. So in this instance, you cannot use the name as x-axis, right? While the Likert scale, the value of the Likert scale will not come in the y-axis. It's going to give you the same thing. I hope that's clear. I don't know the person
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I think it's Catherine. Yeah, it should be. So thank you. Thank you so much, Victor. You've been talking for almost 2 hours and more. So I appreciate that you have been able to answer the questions very, very well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.